I'm close to you. Here on Tuesday, January 28th. Turn it this way. I don't know. I turn it this way, I turn it that way. We turn it every which way but loose. Loosey goosey. We're here, back again, with a few comedy movies here. Comedy. I should get closer to you, because you want it, don't you? You want me in your face? There was one that I actually ended up putting back, because it's more of a TV show kind of thing. Not really, but sort of. So, this is our pile. We're one shorter than we were. But, so I guess I should start at the bottom here, because that one kind of needs to go on top. But whatever. We'll do it this way. The first one I have is the Simpsons movie, and of course it's based on The Simpsons, and look, it's all, Homer's all raised up, and the movie's all raised up, and Spider Pig, the side's all raised up. That's pretty cool. I like all that detail on the sleep cover. So, excuse me, I actually saw this in theaters, and I enjoyed it for a Simpsons movie. I mean, like I said, I mean, people say The Simpsons are kind of running out of steam, I guess, and, I mean, maybe they are, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things like I talk about with spoof movies. No matter how shitty they are, they have a moment or two, you know, that's enjoyable, and I still enjoy The Simpsons. I do, and the movie was also enjoyable for a longer, extended episode, I guess. And from what I recall, it doesn't even feel like an extended episode, you know, or anything. You know, it doesn't feel too long, you know, or like, oh god, is this ever going to be over? Because, you know, usually you just sit there for like 20 to 30 minutes watching a Simpsons episode and you're done, you know, and this is an hour and a half, I think. Something like that. So, but 87 minutes. I just found it. 87 minutes. But yeah, it's enjoyable for, you know, if you enjoy The Simpsons, I feel like you'll enjoy The Simpsons movie. Okay, and now the next one we have is, as I was saying, with spoof movies, I have Dance Flick. And you can't see it because it's behind the sticker, but that's fine. He Hearts White Chicks. Yes, Dance Flick. I bought this. It's still in the cover. I don't know for sure. I don't believe I've seen this one. I don't think I've watched this one at all. But there again, it is a spoof flick, so I'm sure it has a moment or two that maybe I can enjoy, but I can't tell you exactly where on the spectrum from from date movie to Hot Shots that I put this one. So, I don't think I watched this one. I don't believe I did. But yeah, it spoofs dance movies, like, you know, is that Magic... What? No, not Save the Last Dance. Jeez. What was the other one? Not Magic Mike. The other one that, What's His Abs is in. I don't know. Because he was in some dance movie before that. Before Magic Mike. And they made like 3 or 4 of them. I think one of them is like something Havana Nights or something. But yeah, that's supposed to be them in the middle there, I guess. But anyway, it's not going to come to me, so who cares? But yeah, spoof movie. Probably has a moment or two. Can't really tell you. Now this one I definitely enjoyed, and it's so shiny, and I love it. Sex Drive. Look at how shiny that is. And then there's a Mexican donut in it. This is the, what is it called? Cream-filled, unrated, warning, ruder, cruder, neuter. Actually, I think this is the one that maybe just to make it, because, you know, they have some kind of thing at the beginning of the movie, where they're like, you know, everybody always says unrated, but nobody ever really does anything to, like, you know, make it unrated. So I believe they superimpose naked chicks, or at least topless chicks. I don't know if they're fully nude, they just kind of like walk through the bottom of the screen and like jump up and down or something, or do something stupid. This is the I don't necessarily know that you should watch this version first, because this is the unrated version, and they throw a bunch of dumb shit in there that, like, I still really like the movie. It was still really funny, but like James Marsden is in it, and he was in the X-Men movies, and at one point they look at this, because he kind of plays the dick in this one. He's the one that's coming after them or whatever, and then he like I can't remember where it is that they are, but he like busts in there to like catch up with them, or they're like, look out, it's Cyclops, and then they run off. So they so if you've seen this movie, it's enjoyable. You know, I watched it with all the extra shit in it in the first place. But so if you've seen this movie but you have not seen the unrated version, I would highly suggest watching the unrated version, because there's a lot of just random like shit that they put in there like that. So if you, I guess if you enjoyed the movie and you haven't seen the unrated version, you should see the unrated version, because that's the version that I watched first. And I definitely enjoyed it. Oh, I thought maybe the sprinkles would be raised, but they're not. But it's fine. But so yes, definitely the unrated version is a lot of fun, I would say. So the movie itself is probably good even without all the extra shit in it. But you know, whatever. I enjoyed it. Another movie that I enjoyed, and it also has a shiny slipcover. I love it so much. Fanboys, look at it, shiny, it's so shiny. Meow, 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 meow. This is the one where their friend is dying and they want him to see the Star Wars movie before he dies, obviously. Excuse me. Get ready for the comedy adventure that's smart, funny, and tailor-made for the inner Jedi in all of us. In 1998, four childhood buddies with a shared love of all things Star Wars reunite for one final hilarious odyssey. Their insane plan, a cross-country road trip to storm George Lucas's Skywalker Ranch and steal a copy of Episode 1 before it's released, with the police, a crew of angry Trekkies, and a crazy pimp hot on their trail. What could possibly go wrong? So, a lot of things. I remember they go through the William Shatner town in this one. Apparently he's even in the movie. I don't recall that, but he's in there. So yeah, the Star Wars people come across the Star Trek people, and there's kind of a moment in there about that. But yeah, it's definitely entertaining. It's fun, and there's some heart to it too. You know, because they're friends, and you know their friend is dying, and yada 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 yada. But so it's like you want them to succeed. And you know they probably do, but you're gonna have to watch the movie to find out for sure, because it's definitely enjoyable. I enjoyed it a lot. So this was actually the one I went over to Nick's house to watch this movie. Here's a little side story. This is the movie. I still don't know what the beginning of it says, because the beginning of it kind of if you've seen the Star Wars movies, you know they have that, you know, the space background and the text is like scrolling past the screen. Well, before we sat down to watch this movie, we decided to look up gross stuff on the internet. And we started with Two Girls, One Cup. And then Joe, you may remember Joe. He's been in many, many videos a long time ago. He was the one that ripped my Disney Princess Advent calendar. He's the one that ripped the door. I was like, what are you doing, you animal? Yes, Joe. We love him. He's like, oh, no, I got something better. And if you've ever heard of One Man, One Jar, that was his better. Don't look it up. I'm just saying. But I found out that's my limit. That's my limit of online videos. Because I kind of started feeling hot and kind of like seeing spots in front of my eyes. I remember I said something like, I think that's enough for me, and I sat down in the chair. And then the next thing I remember, I'm waking up on the floor with Sean asking me if I'm okay. Yes, One Man, One Jar made me pass the fuck out. And apparently, like, no, but I don't even know how long I was sitting there, because they were over here at the computer when I sat down, and when I woke up, They were on the other side of me on the fucking couches. And so apparently, like, nobody... until I slumped to the floor. And Sean just thought I was a good actor, which I am. Yes, let's be honest. Because I guess I was just laying there with my eyes, like, wide open. They just thought I was fucking around. But no, one man, one jar made me pass out. Yep, that's my little side story. And that's why I don't know what the beginning of this movie is. I've never actually seen the beginning of this movie, because that's the guy that is he in Walking Dead now? He might be in this guy right here. He might be on Walking Dead now. That might be why he looks familiar to me, because he's from this movie. Okay. Sorry, I was distracted. But yes, because I couldn't, like, I was still, when I got up from the floor, I was a little bit dazed, and I couldn't, like, focus right away after I got up. So of course the text, like, scrolling by, I couldn't, like, focus on it to read it or anything. But it got better. It's fine. I'm still here. We're good. That was actually the second head injury I got that week, I believe, from also passing out, from getting a Charlie horse and jumping out of bed. I passed out doing that too. I want to say those were both in the same week, or one was 1 week and this was the week after that. So very close together, 2 head injuries. But so yeah, side story, little side personal story about fanboys for me on that one. But let's move on to Dumb and Dumber, which is a comedy classic, of course. Everyone knows Dumb and Dumber. Everyone's seen Dumb and Dumber, probably. You know, I don't really have to explain it to you, but they get involved in some mess, and there's a cross-country thing where they're trying to catch up with this woman, and they get into, trouble with the mafia? Somehow they end up getting in trouble with, them for, I can't recall exactly what the situation is, but yeah, they end up getting trouble. I think it's the mafia, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, it's a briefcase. Oh, they have to return the briefcase full of cash to its rightful owner, which just happens to be this woman that they meet once and fall, head over heels in love with. So yeah, they're trying to catch up with the cash. That's what it is. Okay. I of course I've seen it a couple times, but I've forgotten. But so hilarity ensues, and actually there's I haven't seen the sequel with them, but I have seen the prequel, kind of, when Harry Met Lloyd, or whatever that one is, and I enjoyed that one. It was okay. It was all right. It's not with these two actors. I can't remember who plays them in the prequel, but it was all right. I don't think the prequel was quite up to the level of Dumb and Dumber, but it was okay. It was worth a watch, I'll say. But Dumb and Dumber, definitely worth a watch, worth a own, worth enjoying yourself with. Now I guess this is kind of a movie. It's not very long, though. I was trying to find exactly how long it actually was, and it doesn't tell me. But, oh well. Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. It's a Joss Whedon thing, and it stars a lot of Joss Whedon, Felicia Day. It's got Nathan Fillion in it. I think that's how you say his name. And of course, Neil Patrick Harris is Dr. Horrible. It's more of a musical kind of thing, but there is some comedy thrown in there too. Of course, there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. He plays a very cocky hero, as he do, and of course she's our heroine there, Miss Felicia Day, and he's just an evil bastard. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun for a watch. I heard that they were supposed to make a sequel to this, but I don't think they ever did. I don't believe they ever did. But I mean, it's fun for a watch. Like I said, I don't even know if it's an hour long. But anyway, it's Joss Whedon, so it's a good time, for a watch. Anyway, so I don't even necessarily know if it's a movie, or movie length. Anyway, And this I have not seen, but this is thanks to my friend Tanya, and I will find her video where she talks about this movie, and I will link it down below. It's an old movie called Freaked, and I bought the special edition with, of course, the fancy-ass see-through slipcover and all these things on here, and all these things on the back, because they're all freaks. Oh, and there's a cat fight going on, so that's cool. Hopefully somebody takes care of that in a minute. Usually the person upstairs goes ahead and takes care of it, because it's their cat that's outside. And it has a little booklet in here with all of these stuffies in it, whatever the stuffies are. I don't quite know. There's 2 discs in here. And of course, I have not watched it. Sorry, Tanya. I haven't watched it, but I did buy it because she made it sound pretty good. Alex Winter of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure stars as Ricky Coogan, an arrogant former child star who becomes the celebrity spokesman for toxic fertilizer Zygrote 24. But when Ricky is taken prisoner by demented sideshow impressionario Elijah C. Scruggs, Randy Quaid, he is transformed into a hideous mutant freak to join the likes of the bearded lady, Mr. T, Sockhead, Bobcat Goldthwait, a human woman... No. Sorry. A human worm. That's a little bit freakier. A giant nose, and their fearless leader, Ortiz, a hack actor turned genetic nightmare, now survive... Okay, I skipped a line. That's why that didn't make sense. Ortiz, the dog boy, an uncredited and unforgettable performance by Keanu Reeves. Can a hack actor turned genetic nightmare now survive an evil conspiracy of corporate sleazebags, desperate milkmen, Rastafarian eyeballs, canned cheese, and most horrifying of all, Brooke Shields? It's time to get freaked. So there's a lot of people in this movie, actually. Morgan Fairchild, Megan Ward, and William Shatner co-star in this mind-blowing cult comedy co-directed by Alex Winter and Tom Stern, with music by Henry Rollins, Parliament, Funkadelic, Blind Idiot God, and Butthole Surfers, and featuring some of the most eye-popping special effects in film freak history. So... she made this movie sound very interesting, and like I said, I will link her video about it below. But of course, I have not watched it. But this is like the special edition, and I think like getting it with the slipcover or whatever. As you can see, someone bought it at Kmart for $15. I think I ended up having to pay $30 or something for this copy. But I feel like it will be worth it. Once I finally watch this movie, Tanya, and of course I will someday, someday, I will. I feel like it will be worth it once I do. Okay, and this is another one of my favorite, it's a raunchy comedy, but it's a fun raunchy comedy, Grandma's Boy. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the version that, with the slipcover, because I couldn't find it. It was a lot more money. I mean, back then, I guess it wouldn't, now it probably wouldn't have been a big deal, but I feel, to find it, because, to find it with the slipcover was more money. It's, life is sweet for 35-year-old video game tester Alex, until he's forced to move in with his overbearing grandmother, Lily, Doris Roberts, and her 2 roommates, oversexed Grace, Shirley Jones, and overmedicated Bay, Shirley Knight. To save face with his much younger coworkers and super sexy new boss, Linda Cardellini, Alex brags about the 3 hot babes living with him, but soon the cat's out of the bag, and the real party at Grandma's house has just begun. If you love footy pajamas, techno talk, and karate-chopping chimps, and who doesn't, grab your buds and watch Grandma's Boy. That doesn't really tell you much about the plot, because he works for like a video game company or something, and there's like a rival video game company, or I think, you know, that's like trying to steal his idea or something. There's more to the movie than that. I don't know why I didn't put all that on there. But yeah, it's a fun, kind of more raunchy kind of comedy. This is the movie where he's pleasuring himself, and he's at his friend's house. He's spending the night at his friend's house, and he has his friend has it's a sweet car. He's Nick Swardson is in this movie, and that's one of my favorite lines, because he talks about, you know, his friend having a race car bed when he's like in his 30s or whatever. He's like, yeah, but it's a sweet car. So you know, this Alex guy, he's over at his friend's house pleasuring himself, and his mom walks in, and he, you know, and he's like, so there's moments like that in there. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit raunchy, it's a little bit gross, more than probably a little bit of both of those things, but it's a good time if you can handle things like that, for sure. Okay, and the last one we have is one of my favorite slipcovers ever. The movie's also pretty good, pretty okay. It is National Lampoon's Van Wilder with Ryan Reynolds and Tara Reid, the unrated version. But as you can see, this is raised up a little. You've probably heard me talk about this one, actually. As you can see, it's kind of raised up a little bit, so you can, like, kind of like, there's, you know, cleavage here, some breastises. You can pop it. So I just thought that's one of the most clever slipcovers I've ever seen in my entire life. So I enjoy it very muchly. The movie's pretty good too. Well, all right for a comedy, I guess. National Lampoon's Van Wilder stars Ryan Reynolds as the 7th-year student who has no plans to graduate. Life is good for Van. He's got a co-ed in every closet and a party to go to every night. His slick reputation even catches the eye of sexy Gwen Pearson, Tara Reid, an on-campus reporter determined to expose the naked truth behind his wild exterior. When Gwen enters his life and his father stops paying for his tuition, could Van's days of the king of Coolidge College be over? Find out for yourself in this outrageous laugh fest that you're sure to go nuts over. And for some reason, nuts is in parentheses, quotation marks. The unrated version contains outrageous footage not seen in the theatrical release. So they like pulling that trick, don't they? But yeah, so this is one of my favorite slipcovers, because I just thought that was a clever idea for a slipcover. And that's all of the, you know, with my side story. Do not look up One Man, One Jar. For the love of God, don't do it. Just don't do it. Now you're going to have to. I understand. Just be sitting down, or have more of have more of a. I didn't throw up. I just passed out. It's fine. I would have been fine if it goes on for so long, Anyway, you can laugh at me. It's fine. Feel free. I laugh at myself. That's my quote in life, is like, you can't laugh at me harder than I can laugh at myself, so it's fine. I don't take me seriously, you shouldn't take me seriously, I don't care. But anyway, this is today's movies, and I'm actually getting through my comedy movies a lot faster than I was getting through my horror movies. Because, well, a lot of the things on that shelf over there are actually like a TV show kind of thing. But they're funny TV shows. But we'll get to those eventually. And then there's a lot of stand-up specials. I got a lot of stand-up specials over there. I'll probably do those all in one, maybe. But anyway, that's all for today, and I will see you for what I see you.